as we have our final best of 3. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Italian Terran player. We have the Italian Terran, we have the red Terran representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, we have the French Zerg. It is Shino. I almost said our reigning Epic Land champion, but that's Hino, not Shino. God damn it. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TvZ. Again, so far, every game or every series here in tonight's broadcast has been a 2-0, and every series has had it, or every game, actually, every single game has had an all-in of some kind. Technically, in the EBA series, we had a failed all-in into the late game, into a macro game, but it still did begin with an all-in. So it's been a hyper-aggressive day of StarCraft. Hyper-aggressive. And we'll see if that trend continues in our final series. Let's go. Let us go. Coming into this, I do favor BabyMarine. I do favor him. He's had a little bit better like accolades and performances in recent years. Shino, he's more of a newer face to this level of play. I think that's maybe a better way of putting it. Shino's been around for a long time, but he's recently been leveling up. He's recently been leveling up, recently been improving in his play and improving in his performances. Unfortunately, I don't really get to cast a lot of Shino. I like him. He's a great guy. He pops by in the chat every now and then as well, in the Twitch chats. But we don't really get to cover him as much just because we don't cast Monday Night Weeklies. Shino needs to wake up early for Tuna Cup, is what I have to say. He needs to wake up early. Este Shino. What I will say is that again, we just haven't really been able to cover much of Shino in recent times, in recent months, and in recent years, so I'm happy to see him here and now, and I'm curious to see how he does perform. Historically, I would say that Shino was a very cheesy player. I remember casting him like maybe 2 years ago and seeing like a lot of, maybe like a year and a half ago, and seeing like a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins. But I want to say that was Shino versus Classic. Like, he was playing against like a top tier Protoss player. Like, it was either like Classic or Hero or like Max Packs. I think it was one of the Korean Protosses. It was one of the Korean Protosses, and we saw nothing but all-ins. But that might be because of his opponents, right? He was literally up against one of the best Protoss players in the world. So it made sense to see some more like cheese out of Shino at the time. Oh my god, Jesus. So third CC before starport, CC on the low ground here and not on the high ground. It's a little bit greedier out of BabyMarine, but he's setting up. He's setting up here back at home, economic opener. Now, something that we saw the last time we casted a TvZ on Ruby Rock was Moja. Moja versus Zeon, and Moja, he went for nothing but Araxes. We saw nothing but Araxes out of Moja. Araxes are very strong on this map. In general, I would say that Araxes are weaker than a year ago. Like, Araxes were very, very meta last year during DreamHack Dallas. It was a dark time in StarCraft, but we saw almost nothing but Araxes in TvZ. But of course, that is weaker now that we had the buff to the Baneling. Remember, Baneling was changed in the most recent patch to have increased HP, so Ling Bane is more viable. Araxes are less potent and less effective. Oh Jesus, we're going for a Hellbat push. Early Marauder production, we have Hellions on the way, we have a Viking on the way to deny the scout, and we should be seeing an Armory. Jesus, hyper aggression here by BabyMarine. It's a 3cc variation. It's going to be 3cc Hellbat push, but still aggression nonetheless. There's the Armory getting ready for those Hellbats. Now, if Shino sees a Marauder, massive tell. There should not be a Marauder this early on, so there's potential to scout, but Shino does not activate that Overlord, and the Viking is on the way. Yeah, the Viking is out, which means the scout is denied. This is on Shino, late scout. Like, at around 3:30 is when the Overlord should be moving in, so late scout out of Shino, to the point where there's just no scout at all. And Shino, what does he see? And now it makes sense why there's a third CC here in the front of the ramp. You want to make it look standard, you want to make it look normal. Now it makes sense that the CC wasn't in the main. So even if there was a Link Scout that hits the natural base, he would see nothing. Layer first out of Shino. Because he has seen nothing in the main base, there's no safety Bailey nest, there's no safety Roach Warren, it's going to be a Ling Queen defense. Now, technically, you can survive against this with Ling Queen if you can bring all your queens together, if you have a high queen count. There's about to be 8 queens for Shino. There is a possible defense here, but it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a very clutch hold. Now, if BabyMarine... scan the main! That should not have happened. That should not have happened. Now he knows. Yeah, the Ling Del slip into the main base. Army is coming. BabyMarine, if he can catch a queen ahead of time. The queen's... No! He's going to get 2! Yeah, 2 queens getting caught out. Some morph into the Hellbats. Viking does land. He gets 1. He gets 2 queens already. Ay. The queens are the backbone of the defense here. That's all that Shino has, and he loses 2 already. Yeah, 2, 3 queens go down. They get isolated. They're meant to be all together here to defend. Lings that collapse into the Fire Bats, into the Hellbats. And I think BabyMarine has done it. Yeah, BabyMarine, he's overwhelming. Transfuses are limited. 1 clutch transfused. Another transfuse goes up. Queens are still exposed. And they should be going down. Yeah, they should be going down here. Cashing out the final queens. There's 3 queens left. Down to 2. Down to 1. And soon to be 0. Soon to be 0. Ay. Yeah, nice control here with the medevac. Does get on top of that final queen. With Ling reinforcements though, Shino's holding. Shino, he does barely hold on. It was a messy defense. it was very, very messy. But he holds, he survives, and he doesn't lose any drones. True. Doesn't lose any drones. How many queens did he lose, by the way? 8. Every queen went down in the defense. Lings, they counterattack with their Fire Bats to defend. Sorry, I keep saying Fire Bats. Hellbats. They're Hellbats to defend. And they will. Like the Lings, they maybe get 1, 2 SCV, 3, 4 SCV kills towards the end. Some damage is dealt. But I still have to favor BabyMarine. Oh my god, as this is catching me off guard, I was so fixated on the aggression. Going into mech as the follow-up. Oh boy. Now, what is the scariest thing about what we're seeing? So, a couple of things here. Shino, he hasn't rescouted. He doesn't know what's going on. Seeing Hellions here isn't a tell. Like, everything's looking normal when it comes to the follow-up. In Shino's mind, there was a tech lab on the racks, right? To make the Marauder. So it makes sense to get Concussive Shell and then to get Stim, right? In the mind of the Zerg player here, it makes sense that Stim would be the follow-up and Bio would be the follow-up. To get an add-on swap out of the tech lab, out of the racks and onto the factories and throw down 3 more, this is unorthodox. Like, this is a little bit more out of left field, and because of that, Shino, now he knows, now he sees the Cyclones, but he's going to Ling Bane. He's going to Ling Bane Hydra, which is not ideal against Battle Mech. Typically you need roaches. Like, you need roaches to hold your ground and to stand tall against Battle Mech. So this is a really risky style. Ling Bane Hydra can work, but you need to surround. Like, you need to cache the army. If you fail to surround, if you fail to outposition your opponents, then it's a very fragile composition. Very, very fragile. It's like a glass cannon. Oh, speaking of, gets us around. Yeah, very nice catch here. The Hellions and Cyclones deep on creep, and this is kind of what we need. We need to lure the army on creep. We need BabyMarine to overextend. Despite that overextension, like, that was maybe the best fight that Shino could have hoped for. Despite that, he still doesn't kill the Cyclones. Cyclones, they still get away. Nice thing run by. Oh, very nice damage. Getting up to 10. Okay. 10 SCVs go down. Very nice run by. Shino, he's making up for the earlier losses. He's holding his own. He's holding his own. Now, in years past, whenever we did see Ling Bane Hydra versus Battle Mech, if you remember, we would see Infestation Bit into not Infestors, but into Hive, into Vipers. And we would use Vipers to abduct the Cyclones. I'm curious if Shino is going to go old school and going to go Viper, or if he does go for safety Infestors. Show us what you got. You can see here Shino setting up for the surround, coming in for the flank. Ooh, can he catch the army? Scan does reveal. Yeah, BabyMarine, he's trapped. Yeah, BabyMarine, he's trapped. He's surrounded. Gets completely caught out. There's no way out. And BabyMarine overextends. Twice now. Twice now he's overextended. Twice now he's been caught out of position. Nice movement out of Shino. and he's stopping the battle mech from snowballing out of control. The scariest thing about battle mech. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I'll get rid of the. I'll fix the UI. My apologies. I was so engrossed in the game. But the scariest thing about battle mech is that it builds up over time and it snowballs out of control, right? With battle mech, you typically preserve your Hellions, you preserve your Cyclones, and then you hit critical mass, and then bam, you break your opponents. But BabyMarine, he's had 2 rough fights already where he's been caught out. He's been caught out time and time again. Bailings don't really quite hit the mineral line. Safety infestors are on the way. Hive is in production as well. And Shino, he's been outplaying. He's just been straight up outplaying BabyMarine. Shino. But yeah, still apologize. UD Soldier played in the previous series. So I had to fix up the UI. So see triple Banshee hitting bottom left. Queens are in position. Cloak is researched. There's no detection. That is a spine on the way, not a spore. Hellion drop on the top side. And BabyMarine, he's turtling up. He's turtling up back at home. He's got his planetaries. Got his sensor towers. You can see he's switching out of battle mech into traditional mech. Into mass tank. We're going to be here for a while. We're gonna Ling Bane is rolling in. Very nice angle. Oh my god. Yeah, catching at the army. Ling's taking in for the surround. Ooh, and that's going to be what? 6 Cyclones falling. 7 Cyclones falling. I don't think Shino can break the expansion though. Yeah, the planetary will hold its own. Shino, he's overstaying his welcome. He should not be here. Subsets forward and he's gonna lose everything. Yeah, he's gonna lose everything. He should not be here. Once he's surrounded the Cyclones, you have to get out. So he did stick around too long and he bleeds out a lot of Hydras. Oof. So a rough trade for Shino. Initially it was good, but then less efficient, less effective. You gotta respect the planetary. Yeah, that was 8 Hydras falling. Oh, and he lost all 3 Infestors as well. Oof. Yeah, expensive losses for the Zerg. Behind this here come those Vipers that we spoke about. Vipers have hit the field. But BabyMarine, he's already working on Ghosts. Again, he's perfecting his army, getting into Mech Ghost. That's the ideal. That is what you want. As Banshees, they do threaten a counterattack. BabyMarine setting up. Jesus, just walling off his 5th base. Shino cannot allow 5th base to get up and running. I don't know if he can stop it though. I mean, with the Vipers, anything is possible. True. Oh! Yeah, late reaction out of BabyMarine. Late reaction, bleeding out 2 Banshees. Where the Vipers, they're now joining the forces. Okay, now they're joining the main army. Now with abductions and with blinding clouds, we do see that Shino can break one of these positions. Now the thing here for BabyMarine, he's spread thin. You can see the tanks are very spread thin. There's the first blinding cloud, there's the second. EMP doesn't quite land, or it lands after the blinding clouds. Ooh, but that's too much. Yeah, there's too many tanks, too many reinforcements. Shino, he plummets in supply. I was gonna say that we're spread thin here, but I mean, you can see that there are 6 tanks in position here at the 3rd base. Yeah, so a very nice spread here for BabyMarine. Ooh, gets into the mineral line. Catching out 8 drones. Trades against the Lingbane. Let's trade. BabyMarine is being active. Yeah, pushing to the center. Jesus, he's got so many ghosts. Both armies are maxed. We have Swarm Hosts on the way. Okay. I mean, Swarm Hosts, they can trade better against this lower composition of mainly, like, Hellion tank. if BabyMarine was being defensive. Here we go. He's pushing forward right through the center. Tanks are setting up. Here comes a Locust Wave. A little bit mistimed. Banelings, they roll in. They do catch out the Hellions at least. Locusts, they catch a Hellbat, but that's all they get. Oof. Yeah, they don't quite get on top of the tanks. The tanks, they hold their own. This is what we need, the Locust Wave. This is when we needed it. No. So again, just a little bit mistimed there from Shino. A little bit messy. BabyMarine, he's gaining ground. He's gaining ground. We have the Greater Spire on the way for potentially Broodlords. Tanks unsieged. Okay, tanks are caught unsieged. Local save, they come in from behind. Let's go. Takes down 1, 2, 3 tanks. Oh, not enough there. Yeah, not enough. Snipes, they pop off. Ghosts, they stand their ground. And BabyMarine, he's still breaking through. And he breaks through the main army. Getting within range of the hatchery. And from this third base, he can push into the main. He can push into the natural and just go for the kill. All these fringe expansions do not matter. He's going for the tech. He's going for the throat. Lings, they run into Hellion reinforcements. Local save coming in for the flank. Gets 1 tank. No, not even. The tank survives. On 5 HP. That's the messy EMPs. Shino does catch 2 tanks. I'll be honest, it's been a while since BabyMarine has reinforced his position, but there we go. Reinforcements, they finally arrive. And where are their snipes? There they are. Oof. Oh god. The snipes, they just bully the Hydras. The Hydra's getting bullied. Locust right from behind gets a tank. Oh, pulling BabyMarine apart. Okay, there's potential, but the final snipes. GG gets called. Everything goes down, and BabyMarine takes game number 1. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. BabyMarine, he does take a lead in the series here. A very chaotic game here from both players. It all began with BabyMarine hiding his build, hiding his Hellbat Marauder push, and he almost killed then and there. He killed 8 queens. He caught 3 queens early on, and everything just snowballed out of control from there. I will say that Shino, he barely held, he barely survived. He didn't lose any drones, so he was able to make a game out of it, but he was stuck going Lingbane Hydra against Mech. Despite that though, I was very impressed. Shino, he caught BabyMarine out like 2 or 3 times. So like 2 or 3 times where BabyMarine got surrounded, BabyMarine, he got caught with his pants down, and Shino had some really nice engagements. But then we saw the tech switch. Then we saw BabyMarine switch out of battle mech into mech, right? Like into a turtle mech style instead. And he was just able to absorb the blows, absorb the pushes, take better fights, better trades, and then eventually snowball out of control with his ghost mech. GG. GG, well played. With that, BabyMarine takes the lead in the series, and we're gonna be now getting into game number 2. We'll see if BabyMarine can claim the series here and now, or if we can have a back and forth. Let's go. Let's go. Loading into the Old Republic. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Italian Terran player. We have the Italian Terran, we have the Red Terran representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the French Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Shino. Here we go. So here we're calming down. We are going to be settling in. And welcome to one of the larger maps. True. Welcome to one of the larger maps of the map pool. Is this the first time we're casting on Old Republic today? we've just been, it's just our games have been so aggressive. Like, we've had nothing but all-ins. The last game was the most like standard game, because even though we had like a Hellbat's Marauder timing, it was still off of a 3rd CC, so I would not call it an all-in from BabyMarine. So we actually had like a more, like, I wouldn't say standard, but we had a more like macro game last game. But yeah, unless I'm misrecalling, I think this is the first time we're loading into the Old Republic. Okay, let's go. Let's go. One of the larger maps in the map pool, longer resistance spike rounds. As a result, we do expect to see longer and later games here. We expect it. Let's go. Roasted Bolivian coffee. Ah, you're making me hungry. We have to have some breakfast. But again, the final series here of the broadcast, and we're seeing quite a wide array of aggression and builds here so far throughout the entire broadcast. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting mech out of BabyMarine, and the question becomes, do we see mech again? Right? Do we see mech again, or do we see some bio for the first time? Now BabyMarine, he is at the 3rd base location. Hatch gas pool out of Shino. He will have a late 3rd. Oh, he's all in. Do you see what I see? He's going for a late 3rd base, and he's staying in gas. You should not be staying in gas. Not at this stage of the game, not at this level of play. The fact that we still have gas mining here is indicative of one of two things. Either a Bane Bust or a Roach Rush. Or technically, it could be a fast lair into like a Link Queen Nidus all in. So one of 3 things. Bane the Nest, Roach Warren, or lair. What's it going to be? Regardless, hyper aggression here by Shino. Now, BabyMarine, he sees no 3rd. That's a tell, right? This is already a tell. We confirm it's going to be the fast lair. So right now, I'm leaning towards Link Queen Nidus all in. But technically, this could be 2-base Muta. Oh, 2nd gas. 2-base Muta? Maybe. There has been an uptick of like 2-base Hydra play, but oh, the Reaper gets in. The Reaper gets in! No, that should not have happened. The Reaper gets in, and we get a full scout. We confirm both gases, and we confirm the lair as well. Ay, ay, ay. Este Queen. This Queen went over to inject, which means it could not deal with the Reaper. There was an opening. There's no Overlord poised to get into the bases here, so I'm leaning more towards Mutas. Yep, 4 gases. 2-base Muta out of Shino. Show us the Spire. There it is. Spire behind the mineral line, 2-base Muta. Now, what is BabyMarine going for? He's going for 3 CC 2-on-1. Oh, good call. Good call here. Remember, BabyMarine, he saw the 2nd gas, so he can rule out Nidus play, as I believe a 2-base Nidus all-in would be without the gas geyser. Also, he just confirms the 3rd base. Confirms the 3rd. So behind this, he's going for less Hellions. I believe he only made 2. Yep, only 2 Hellions into an add-on swap, into reactored Marine production, into early stim. So we do have bio this time out of BabyMarine, and an early stim timing at that. Now, 2-on-1s and 2-on-1 variations are supposed to hard counter Muta play, but this is a 3cc 2-on-1, so this hits a minute later. Fun fact, a regular 2-on-1 would be moving out now, right? It hits around 4:30. Like 4:30 would be when BabyMarine is pushing. A 3cc 2-on-1 hits at 5:30. So as a result, we're just staying back. Oh, this is different. Usually we would go reactored medevac. We're going back into reactored Hellion. Ah, that's why. We're going back into reactored Hellion. It's going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 Hellbat push. Okay, so more committed. More committed this time. Can't get surrounded though. No, you can't get surrounded. Lings, they poke in. They do not surround the Hellions, but he sees 2. Seeing 2 extra Hellions is a big tell. There should not be 4 Hellions at this stage of the game. So Shino, he has an idea as to what's going on. He has a safety Bailey nest. And we need defensive Bailings. Mutas are moving out. Bailing speed has begun. Shino, he spots the bush. And we need those banelings. We need them. Where are they? We have the money. Por favor. I don't know if you noticed. There we go. There we go. We have 5 banelings on the way. We just hit the 3rd, and we're going for a pseudo base trade. As the BabyMarine does commit in. Hellbats are, sorry, the banelings are finishing. Here come the Hellbats. 3 Hellbats go down. Ooh, massive connections. No more Hellbats to worry about. Just Marine. But they have Stim. They do have Stim. They Stim on 4. They shut down some of the Queens. Ooh, oh my god. 1 baby connects. GG gets called. And Shino. Shino, he shuts down the army. That 1 Baneling shuts down the push as well. And Shino ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god, that 1 Baneling. You saw the BabyMarine, he stimmed forward into the Morphing and Baneling, hoping he could kill it in time. He barely didn't. He was like 1 second too late. The Baneling finished, did crash in, shut down the Marines. Insta GG. Insta GG. The hero Baneling. Ah. And with that, we are getting into game number 3, getting to, for the first time this series, sorry, for the first time this broadcast, Ace Match. Let's go. We're getting into the Ace Match. We're going to be loading into Winter Madness. Aye, aye, aye. We're going to be loading into Winter Madness here at All Ends. Here at All Ends on one of the larger maps of the map pool. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Italian Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Shino. Repping his boy Lem. His boy Clem. Here we go. Oh, as BabyMarine, he moves out with not just 1, with 2. With 2 SCVs. Proxy 2-Max out of BabyMarine. He's had enough. He's had it up to here. He's like, you know what? We're going to end it. We're going to end it here and now. Hyper aggression going 2 racks. About, oh, hello. That's a 3rd SCV. Never mind. I was going to say 2x bunker rush, but we have a 3rd SCV on the way, setting up for a proxy 3 racks. This is much more committed, much more aggressive, much more all in, as the SCV does veer off towards the right hand side to avoid the Overlord Scout. Oh, gracias, Calvator. Gracias, Calvatore. As here we go, we do have our 3 Raxes on the way. Now, Shino has no idea. Shino thankfully does park 1 Overlord outside of his natural, so he can now react and respond, and he can scout the bunkers ahead of time. But what is important, what is crucial, is identifying and how we react, because different builds require different responses. On proxy 2 racks, you can go for a lighter reaction, a lighter response. So if you see 2 SCVs, then you might actually have a more lighter response and things might snowball out of control. A 3 rack setup here requires something more dedicated. Ideally, BabyMarine, he should hide one of his SCVs. He should hide an SCV to make it look like it's less committed than it is. Against a proxy 2 racks, there's a high chance that Shino pulls the boys, and that's what BabyMarine wants. And yeah, you can see he's intentionally keeping that SCV back. You want to keep it back. You want to keep it hidden. Bunker gets thrown down. Do we pull the boys? So he does pull the boys. And now it's on BabyMarine to kite back and to kill as many drones as possible. And again, there's going to be extra Marines than we're used to. Boys are pulled down to low ground. It's all about the kiting, all about the control. And so far it does kite well. It does kite well. He gets 1. Gets 1, 2, 3 drones. Does get surrounded. Barely not. Yeah, he doesn't get surrounded and we're getting out of hand. We're getting out of control. So many drones are going down, losing up to 7 drones already. Yeah, 7 drone kills. We have more reinforcing Marines. Bunkers are denied, but Shino, he is now down in workers. He's now down in economy, and there's still an SCV left over. We should be transitioning. We should be transitioning. Both SCVs survived. Both SCVs, they got out of there. They made it back home, and we're not transitioning. No gas. No gas, no transition. BabyMarine, he's still committing. And he did kill a bunch of workers here, but without those SCVs and without a bunker, I don't think BabyMarine can pull this off. If there was a bunker, different story. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. The boys are being pulled. We commit. I believe the Overlord did confirm. And in Shino's position, he can give up the natural. We don't have to fight here. We don't have to fight for the natural, but he's going for it. He's going to try to hold on. Spine Crawler's on the way. Lings, they pull back. It's all or nothing. The series will end here and now. BabyMarine, can he pull this off? Can he catch the queens? He's going this round. He does catch the queens. They get locked down. Drones are coming in from behind as well. Clutch transfuse here on those queens. Drones, they come in from behind. This is around the Marines. Ah, there's 4 Marines left. Oh my god, the queens, they barely survive. How? The queens, they survive this round. And with that, Shino holds. Yeah, Shino, he holds. He shuts down the all-in. Killing 13 SCVs. He zones away the Marines. The queens, they somehow lived. I don't know how. They got surrounded, but they make it out, baby. They make it out. The queens are so beefy. Spine Crawler wasn't even a part of the defense, by the way. Now can move forward. Ooh, will be denied. Uh-oh. Queen goes down. Does catch one of the queens, but Shino holds. Yeah, Shino holds. Shino has 10 drones left over. Has an economy. BabyMarine just now getting back home. Mules, though. Ah, there's Lings. There's Lings across the map. 3 Lings. Don't get surrounded. 0 mining, 0 economy. BabyMarine, he's racing back home. Yo, we are huffing some heavy copium here, right? Oh, no. No shot. We're going to try to macro out of this. There's 0 mining going on right now, papi. No shot. Ah, no. I mean, BabyMarine was favored in this series. True. He was favored. He was favored in this series. He chose to go for the all-in. He gets punished for it. Back at home, Shino happily mining, happily droning. Now, is there a chance here for BabyMarine? Yes, there is a chance. Nah, never mind. Nah, there's no chance. I was gonna say he could tech up and go into like go into a factory, go into a starport, and go into like try to rush into BCs or try to rush into Banshees and try to harass that way and try to force some mistakes. The problem is that there's no gas, so there's no tech. There's nothing here. Like there's no potential to tech up into a factory or a starport or into stim or anything. There's just nothing. Ah. So the options are limited, I guess is what I'm saying. Like often in this kind of position, like there may be like some avenues to approach this game and maybe like some things you can do, but without any gas, like what can you do? You can expand. So CC's on the way, SCVs are on the way. Shino's going for the Bane bus. Let's go. I mean, she doesn't need, he can just drone if he wanted to. He could just drone and saturate and just macro from here and just secure his win. That'd be like the quote-unquote correct thing to do. But this is also an option. Shino is cutting workers at 21. It's risky. It is risky here, but he's cutting workers at 21. He's going for a Baneley nest. He's going for a Bane bust. Remember, Shino, he scouted no gas. So in his mind, he knows no Hellions. And if there are no Hellions, how do you deny it? How do you stop a Bane bust? If there's no Hellions and no factories and, sorry, no tanks. Well, you got Vanilla Marines. 3 C... Oh, BabyMarine, you're an animal. I mean, you know, what do you do in this position? You pray, right? You to Santa Maria, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 3rd TC is on the way. We pray and we hope that Shino leaves. If he leaves us alone, then maybe, right? True, true. If Shino, if he didn't go for an all-in here, then maybe BabyMarine could recover. We prayed. But here comes the Bane bust. And again, no shot BabyMarine survives this. Like there's no, unless Shino pulls a light from like 2015 and we accidentally manually detonate all the Banelings, like right now. Before they connect. But maybe. But there we go. Breaks down the wall. Lings, they flood him for this round. GG gets called, and Shino, he will claim the series 2-1, taking down BabyMarine. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Shino, as it does claim the series. Big win, big upset as well. BabyMarine was favored coming into this. If you recall, coming into this tournament, I mentioned how BabyMarine, he's, I would say, the highest rated Terran player in this event, and we expect him to go far. But no, he gets knocked down in the first round. GG, well played. Very impressive play here by Shino, coming in as the underdog, coming in as the less experienced player as well, and taking down BabyMarine. Big win. big win here. It was an unorthodox series. We had BabyMarine winning the first game, of course, gaining momentum. Game 2, Shino went for a 2-base Muta build, and BabyMarine, he responded with his own 3cc 2-on-1 Hellbat push, and barely he got shut down. We spoke about that hero bailing which connected and shut down the entire 2-on-1 timing attack, and with that, BabyMarine, he just fell apart. He had to insta GG then and there. Here in game 3, he chose to all in, he chose to proxy. That's the risk you take. That's the risk you take here. Shino, I was scared he was losing too many drones, but he did deny the bunkers. Bunkers were never a factor, and he did hold on. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Shino. My condolences to BabyMarine as he gets knocked down. Now, as a reminder, it is a double elimination bracket. True. So BabyMarine, he's not out of the tournament. He's still in it, but he's down to the lower bracket. He only has 1 life left. 1 life. Let's catch up. Let's catch up on the bracket itself. Okay, and with that, that wraps up our broadcast here tonight. That wraps up all of our matches. From the top, we had MiddleVK versus Night Phoenix. If you remember, MiddleVK did take down Night Phoenix 2-0, so Middle does advance on the face-off against Shameless in another PvP. Meanwhile, we had Art he 2-0'd Defiance, Minizerg 2-0'd Erebus, and we have Art versus Minizerg in the second round, in the round of 16. I'm looking forward to that. Scrolling down a little bit further, we had Moja took down Eon 2-0, and we have Moja versus Inexorable in a TvT. Ooh, it's a bit of a shame that the Terrans are facing off against each other that quickly because there are so many Protosses, but regardless, best of luck to Moja and Inexorable. Scrolling down, we have Pappy. Ooh, that series has yet to play out, but we have Pappy versus Creator going up against Ledlix in the next round, non-stop PvPs. We have Iba, he 2-0'd Mute, and he's up against Jumi in the round of 16. Ooh, that is a brutal one. Jumi is one of the bigger names in this tournament, so best of luck to Iba. Best of luck. Scrolling down, we have the other Art. That's the Polish Art. Art is up against Hatsu, still to play out. Winner goes up against Milky Cow in the next round. And then we have Sebestis versus UD Soldier. Sebestis did take down UD Soldier 2-0. That leads into Rebellion, another PvP. Scrolling down, we have BabyMarine versus Shino. That was our final series. We had Shino taking down BabyMarine 2-1 to face off against GG Machine. Yo, what is with the seeding? What is with the seeding here? ZVZ in the second round. There's barely any Zerg players in the tournament. There's barely any Zergs, but they're going to be knocking each other out in the round of 16. So again, best of luck. Best of luck to Shino up against GG Machine, as I would say that GG Machine is one of the bigger names also in the tournament. Oh boy. And as you can see down there, lower bracket. No one is eliminated. They get knocked down to the lower bracket where they have another chance to redeem themselves and to fight back. Best of luck. Best of luck in that lower bracket. Otherwise, GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here tonight. This bracket will eventually be updated with all the scores that we just had, of course. We'll get there. Otherwise, hope you had a great time. And again, because there's a lower bracket and because there are so many matches going on, this tournament does take a long time to conclude. It's gonna last around 3 months. Around 3 to 4 months is typically how long it takes to play through an OSC Elite Rising Star tournament, just because every game is casted. Every game is held, both in the upper bracket and in the lower bracket as well. This was day 1, the first week of broadcasting, and there's going to be there's going to be next week. Next week is going to be day 2, so on and so forth. Oh boy. Mule power, true. Just catching you. Este Shino. Oh my god, he's in the chat. Pappy, isn't it like 4 a.m.? Let's go. Este Shino. You're crazy, Pappy. You're crazy. GG, Pappy. GG. Sorry, I was engrossed catching up with the bracket. Hey, just wanted to take a moment to thank you for casting my match. I enjoyed the quality of your commentary. It was very respectful toward the players. Always, Pappy. Always. Of course. Especially meant a lot to hear the kind of things you said about me before the match. As a player, we put a huge amount of time and effort into improving, and having that work recognized by someone who has a positive impact on the StarCraft 2 scene is very motivating. Let's go. Thanks again for the passion you bring to your cast and for the positive energy. Este Shino, thank you so much. Thank you so much for competing, of course. Thank you so much for competing Thank you so much for playing Shino. But yeah, we're always here to support the players, always. Otherwise we wouldn't be covering events like this, of course. And you know, because we cast so much and we cover so much, you know, we take notice of players like Shino. We take notice, of course, always. Shino. And again, it's really cool to see you doing well here, of course. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming matches. As I just mentioned, it is a shame that it's going to be a ZvZ. Again, there's like what, 5 Zurich players in the bracket. So I would personally, as a caster, I'm a little bit biased and selfish. I would like some diversity, you know, coming into the later rounds of the event. So it's a bit of a shame that it's going to be a ZvZ of all things, but best of luck. Wish you the best against GG Machine. Not an easy opponent, not an easy one, but best of luck. Yeah. Gracias. Shout out to Shino. And also, I hope to see more of you in the future. And Pappy, when are you gonna wake up early in the morning to play in Tuna Cup? When are you gonna wake up early for a Tuna Cup, Pappy? Ay. It doesn't start that late. It starts at like 11 a.m. in Europe, right? 11, 10 a.m. in the morning. It's not that late. One day, Pappy, one day. I think you've played in like 1 or 2, to be fair. You played in a handful of them. One day, Pappy, one day. But GG, well played. Best of luck. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Hope you all had a great time. Hope you all had a great time here with the broadcast. Again, this event will continue next week, and I don't know if we're going to be casting it. As I mentioned before, when it comes to OSC casters and OSC events, sometimes it's the CranKy Ducklings, sometimes it's Steadfast, Wardy, Chicken Man, Dave Testa. Depending on who's available, sometimes the cast goes to another caster instead. So we'll see. We might cover it, we might not. We might cover like a day 4 or day 5 or day 7 in the future. Yeah, we'll see how the schedule lines up, but regardless, this will be taking place on a weekly basis. Keep an eye out on social medias for when the next stream or where the next stream is going to take place. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the time being, checking out the rest of our schedule. Bam, you can see our calendar before you. We just wrapped up with our Thursday morning broadcast. If you can see here, Wednesday was empty. We were gonna be casting Pegasus Cup yesterday, but I was very fatigued. Like, I was just out of it. Like, I technically I could have casted Pegasus Cup, but it would have been very low energy and I would not have been satisfied with the cast, so decided to take the day off, get some rest, get some sleep, get some proper sleep as well. I did end up sleeping through Pegasus Cup as a result of that, but most likely we'll be catching up via replays. So we'll catch up with Pegasus Cup via replays at a later date. Just needed some time to recover because it's a busy schedule. Our next broadcast is going to be later on tonight. As you can see here, it's going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 9 p.m. AEST. That'll be in around 5 hours. No, wait, sorry. That's going to be in around it's going to be in around 8 hours time. 8 hours. 7 hours. Jeez, I'm all over the place. But in 7 hours time, we're going to be live with the Podcast. If you're curious, what is the Podcast? The Podcast is our weekly talk show. Where we talk all things StarCraft. Basically, it's kind of like a weekly wrap-up news show, essentially, where we go over everything. This week, what do we have to talk about? There was an interview with Kalaris. So Kalaris, he had an interview, so we're going to be going over that. We have, let's see here, we have news regarding CSO Esports, regarding Ladder Legends, regarding Pigfest. Big news that we're going to be discussing is the return of publishing maps on the arcade. It's been 10 months, right? It's been like 8 to 10 months since, if you didn't know this, modders and map makers could not actually upload anything to the arcade because of some controversies. I say controversies. Basically, there was a big issue on the StarCraft 2 arcade where some like snuff films and like some weird like propaganda videos and like some really like extreme stuff was being uploaded onto the arcade and was being shown to people that were unaware of that. So there was a big issue going on. So Blizzard had to lock down the arcade. They had to lock it down. They disabled anyone uploading anything, and it's been a long time, but finally it looks like they've fixed those issues. They've kind of resolved it, and they've kind of tightened up their security and tightened up, I guess, their automated services in regards to catching that sort of stuff to make sure that the arcade is a bit of a safer place, so there's no weird stuff on it, and yeah, there's no like explicit content on it or anything like that. So that did happen a couple of days ago. So that's another big thing that is going to benefit and that is going to help, you know, modders and map makers, especially coming into the next season of TLMC. So big time, big moment. And of course, we'll be discussing all the other events throughout the week. So Epic Land, Pigsty Festival, the Wardy TV Championship as well, and many other events. So again, we'll be going over all the announcements and all the tournament results as well. So a lot to discuss, personally, I still have to catch up on that Kalaris interview, so I have to catch up on that. And I know that Cyril, he released a video, I think yesterday. It was Cyril's EWC analysis of his series against Classic. We might discuss that if I have time to go over the video itself. We'll see. So glad you took time to sleep. I did. How dare I did sleep, but you can see if you look at this calendar, you can be like, Light slept on Wednesday. True. did sleep. Counting is hard. It is hard. True. Counting on stream might lead to math on stream, and we know how dangerous that is. True. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Again, the next broadcast is going to be in 7 hours. 7 hours time. Otherwise, tomorrow we're going to be live with Little League Cup. That's going to be a catch-up replay cast of Little League Cup Group A, C, D, all the Little League Cups throughout the course of the week. We have KSL over the weekend, we have SD over the weekend, and we have STC Sparkling Tuna Cup over the weekend as well. See you then. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up for the time being. I might go live. Nah, we'll chill. I was tempted to go live and maybe watch those videos with everyone. So I have to catch up on the Kalaris interview and the Cyril video as well. But at the same time, it's 2 p.m. It would be nice to get some breakfast. So, I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go make some ramen. Gonna get some food, and then I'll catch up on all the videos that we have to catch up on for the podcast. So see you then. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who do we raid? I'm spoiled for choice right now. There's a lot of people. There's Vindicta, Miguelito, there's Eggs, El Huevito, there's Dave Testa, there's Bomioja as well. It's that the Heaven is live. True. There's a lot of people live at the moment. Neuro is streaming StarCraft. That's a rare sight. Florencio is live. Jesus. A lot of people. Give him some love, give him some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. All right, also very quickly, if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. You can support us via Patreon, or you can support us via following us on the socials. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. We upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft over on the CranKy Ducklings YouTube channel. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.